anthem is, of course, discourteous. It's also provocative. Did you look at the expression on Batistuta's face? Talked a lot about the individuals. What do you think the formations are going to be tonight?
Well, I expect England to play with three at the back, and those three defenders are the only three recognised defenders in the team. Keown, Southgate and Campbell. Just the one left-footer, Jason Wilcox, who plays as a wing-back on the left with Dyer on the right-hand side. Of the three central midfield players, I expect Beckham to be the deepest of the three, and most of the play will go through him. The three defenders will look to try and get as much of the ball to him as possible, and he'll be the one that starts to provide most of our attacks. Forward areas, Shearer and Heskey. A big night for Emil Heskey. And on we go now to the Argentinian lineup. And it's somewhat similar in shape to England. I think if you look at the Argentinian side, it's full of experience and full of players who are playing at the moment in the Italian Serie A. No less than 8 players. Simeone will be the deepest of the midfield players, but there's so many world-class players there. Simeone I mentioned, Verón, possibly the best right-sided player in world football in Zanetti. Up front, you've got the strength of Ortega, a marvellously gifted player, tremendous dribbling skills, and in my opinion, currently the best centre-forward in world football in Gabriel Batistuta. If they have a weakness, I think it's in defensive areas. Chamot, Ayala and Sensini, all experienced players, as I say, playing in Italy, but I don't think that is the strength of the side. The strength is in midfield and in forward areas.
Gabriel Batistuta with a Wembley goal to his name already this season for Fiorentina against Arsenal, past, of course, David Seaman. Diego Simeone, who certainly had some handshakes with David Beckham last season after a Champions League match at Old Trafford. They swapped shirts, and I'm sure buried a hatchet or two, but battle about to recommence here. England kick off against Argentina. With both teams trying to look forward, preparations for England for Euro 2000 finals, preparations for Argentina for World Cup qualifiers that start even earlier, next month in fact. But I'm sure most of the supporters here are, in a sense, looking back to that fantastically dramatic night in the World Cup when England were losers by the lottery of penalties. Forward by Sensini. Wise, first chance to express himself, and a bit of room for him in midfield. Heskey just had to check to stay onside. Wise biding his time and involving Jason Wilcox. Shearer going near post, gets a touch. Chamot making a little bit of a meal of clearing. Verón. The Sky digital viewers, channel 404, the player cam for the first 15 minutes is on David Beckham.
Well, already Jason Wilcox, Martin, is very active. That's what Alan Shearer's wanted. As much of the ball we could get to Wilcox so we could provide a service to him in the middle. He did that, got a good cross in. We just had the two front runners in there, Shearer and Hemeleski. We need to get players into the penalty box and try and put Argentina under pressure. It's not their strength defensively.
Crossed by Wilcox again. And then leading down the left. Kieran Dyer, who played so well here against Luxembourg, and then found it a bit harder against Belgium up at the Stadium of Light. Missed the Scotland occasions through a calf injury. Heskey. Caught in the face there. Arruabarrena. This is Zanetti. Simeone, the holding player really in Argentina's midfield, as Beckham is in England's. Ortega, very much a free spirit. Lovely link up with Verón. And it's skimmed over the head of Southgate. Got two in the centre, Argentina. Batistuta, of course.
Well, that was excellent play from Ortega. It's quite noticeable, Martin, that he started on the right-hand side. We thought he would play just in behind Batistuta. He started on the right-hand side. Well, that's because the manager's aware that we don't have a defensive wing-back in Jason Wilcox, and they're perhaps looking to try and exploit that area.
England survive Ortega's cross. Verón. Arruabarrena. Comfortable for David Seaman. Wise going ahead of Wilcox. Shearer and Heskey making similar runs here. Heskey powers in front of the captain to get there first. Certainly Emil Heskey's got a lot of physical strength. He has been singled out for criticism for a lack of goals for Leicester. It's a real chance for him, really earned by an encouraging performance as a substitute here against Scotland back in November.
He's also got a lot of pace, of course, and if he can make his runs on that left-hand side where Sensini's playing as a right-hand side as centre defender, he can isolate him. He'll certainly get the better of him because Sensini, now 34 years of age, not the quickest.
Beckham with the free kick, and Sensini defended it well. A word or two on the Argentine goalkeeping situation in a minute, because it's quite confused. Cavallero playing tonight. He's with Espanyol in Spain, but he's not their first choice. Argentina's first choice, Herman Burgos, has been out with an 11-game suspension, so he's got no sort of match practice behind him. He plays for Mallorca. Of course, the goalkeeper in '98, Roa, has retired from football and is now a priest. Scholes. Beckham. Keeping it at close order for England. Campbell. Pressed by Ortega. Neither of these two groups of players have had much time really to work on things in training. England with just one full session here at Wembley yesterday. Argentina had a lot of players involved in league games in Spain and Italy on Sunday. And they didn't train fully until their visit to Wembley yesterday evening. But of course they are, Trevor, a group who are used to playing with each other. They've been together quite a few years now, really, many of them since the Olympics in Atlanta in '96.
Yes, that's what I was mentioning just now, Martin. It's a very, very experienced lineup all over the field. Defensive areas, experience, midfield, up front, Batistuta and Ortega, some of the most experienced players in Argentinian football. And this won't faze them tonight. It's already shown to me that the way they started the game, pressing the ball very, very quickly, they're totally committed. They want to go away from here tonight with the result.
Heskey closing down Cavallero. Well, you could judge not easily from this side of the ground from the shot, but from Shearer's reaction, having struck the ball, that it was nowhere near the target. But that was down to Heskey's pressure.
I think the pace of him surprised the goalkeeper. It falls to Alan Shearer. Really, when he looks back at that, he would have probably expect to have done a lot better. You have to say it's 25 yards out, but he's got an open goal there.
Wise. Done by Kily González. Southgate, who was splendid in Aston Villa's FA Cup win at Everton on Sunday. Him a return to Wembley in April, where the semi-finals are going to be staged. Dyer and Newcastle, of course, are present in that respect.
Kieran Dyer was a little bit unfortunate there, but what a magnificent crossfield ball that was from Beckham. Must have hit that all of 50 yards into the path of Dyer. That's what he's in there for, to try and use his marvellous passing skills. It's the first time he played in the centre of midfield, I would have thought, this season. But certainly started very well.
There's a quick free kick, and David Seaman's got to be quick to get there before Ortega. Wilcox. Beckham starting to really get his game going. Taken on by Southgate, but and break down. There were a couple of short passes available.
I don't know if that ball was put out intentionally, Martin, but Dennis Wise has got one boot in his hand at the moment. There we go. He's not playing that well, is he, Dennis? He can play with one boot.
He's gone out on a limb for Dennis Wise. If you read some of the opinion pieces in the national press today, and the responsibility now with the Chelsea player to show the doubters that he has the temperament as well as the talent to come back into the international frame. It's capped by Graham Taylor first of all, Dennis Wise, then by Terry Venables, but not maybe significantly by Glenn Hoddle, who knew him from Chelsea days. Shearer. Wilcox having a look at the free kick, but bowing to the international seniority of Beckham. And the goalkeeper and Ayala both going for the same ball. Batistuta. Verón. He dropped it over Southgate. There was something for Ortega to chase. And the flag has gone up as Ortega played it through against Batistuta, who didn't heed the whistle. Trevor.
Well, Ortega spots him very early. I'm not so sure he was offside. Well, the England defender comes out with his arm raised, but it was very, very close.
Shearer. That's a weak one by Verón, and Shearer into play with Heskey, and it leads to an England corner off Sensini. There's no doubt that Argentina lack a bit of height at the back. They do have a relatively inexperienced goalkeeper. England will be looking to good quality from their corners and free kicks here. Shearer! Well, he had to battle to get there, but once he'd done that, maybe a bit annoyed with himself that he didn't turn that in.
Well, he certainly does well here, Alan Shearer. Plenty of strength. Dispossesses Ayala. And then it falls to him. It's a good opportunity once again. England have had two chances in the first 10 minutes, both to their captain Alan Shearer. He's under pressure, he's being pushed by Ayala. His balance is not perfect, but probably should have got it on target, the header.
Batistuta gets the better of Southgate. Ortega running into a sturdy frame of Campbell. Dyer. Arruabarrena. It's an awkward one for Chamot. And he only turned it infield to Shearer. Arruabarrena blocking Emil Heskey. Free kick taken quickly by England.
Yeah, a little bit too quickly, wasn't it? After the success they had just previous from the corner, you'd have thought they'd have just taken their time, got the players up from defensive areas, and put Argentina again under pressure in the air.
The referee, incidentally, we hardly had a chance to refer to him. It's Markus Merck from Germany. He's one of the chosen few for the Euro 2000 finals. Sensini, been around a long time for Argentina. González thought a foot was raised there, expected Argentina to get a free kick, a dangerous play against him. Dyer. Chamot. Defending strongly, and it's cleared by Ayala. Touched off by Batistuta. Verón trying to craft something with the outside of the foot. Argentina were the first South American country to come to Wembley to play England back in 1951. They won't be the last in the present stadium, because next up, Brazil. That's not for more than 3 months, so this is in fact the last international during this season for England to use to sharpen up their act for who's going to test them in Holland and Belgium in the summer months. Campbell making his way into the frame to join Shearer and Heskey and Scholes. So Campbell has never scored for England, but of course had one disallowed famously in St Etienne against Argentina. Not his fault. It's Ortega. González in behind Dyer. No real support for him in the centre. And the knocking up is done by Southgate.
No, there's nothing wrong with the ball that González played back into the box with his left foot, but the break was so quick that his supporting players, Batistuta and Ortega, couldn't get up there quickly enough to support it. Nothing wrong with that ball.
Coaches have changed, of course, for both nations since the World Cup finals in France. Marcelo Bielsa is now the man in charge of Argentina, succeeding Daniel Passarella. Heskey, Wise involved in the build-up. Scholes going to the near post. Shearer trying to get round the back. Wilcox is there as well. He'd covered a lot of ground to arrive, Jason Wilcox.
Once again, a good attacking move from England, started by Dennis Wise, playing it into the channel. Heskey showing plenty of pace, puts a good ball to the back post. Wilcox gives the call to Shearer, can't quite get it past the near post. The Cavallero takes it without too many problems. Certainly Heskey, who's on the floor at the moment, Martin, has started this game very well. His movement and pace has caused plenty of problems already to the Argentinian defenders.
Well, what will Martin O'Neill and Leicester City fans make of this sight? A jarring fall for Emil Heskey. Worthington Cup final coming up, as you all know, here on Sunday. There was some suggestion that Leicester had almost beseeched Kevin Keegan not to involve Emil Heskey tonight, but as I spelt out, the scenario is such that there aren't too many opportunities left before Kevin Keegan has to make up his mind for his final squad. To give international game time to those who are on the fringe of selection. For the Sky Digital viewers, on channel 404, our player cam has now moved to Gabriel Batistuta.
Well, certainly Heskey appears to be okay, which is great news for Martin O'Neill and John Robertson. I think they're probably used to seeing him go on the floor. He seems to spend a lot of his time, doesn't he, throughout the game on the floor.
It is said about him.
It's a regular occurrence, the physio coming on for him, but as long as he gets up, Martin and John won't mind too much.
Southgate. Campbell. 2 against 1, getting the better of Jason Wilcox. And this is Verón. Keown concerned not to make contact there. He knew there was no one behind him for Argentina. And didn't want to unnecessarily concede a corner. Verón has football in England very much in his family history. His father scored a winning goal at Old Trafford for Estudiantes in the World Club Championship of 1968. Simeone. Heskey working up with Scholes. Now Beckham appearing on the right-hand side. Dials ahead of him. Beckham trying to produce one of those trademark crosses from the right. And then he's gone in here, and David Beckham sees a card against Argentina once again. This time it's a yellow one.
And it's the same man against Simeone.
Not the same set of circumstances.
I think whenever you raise your foot that high, Martin, especially in international football, you risk certainly giving a free kick away. On this occasion, the German referee decides to give him a yellow card. He's possibly slightly unlucky. I didn't see it as a particularly bad challenge.
I suppose I would say the same about the one in Saint Etienne. And of course, he was the retaliator. Heskey. Great power from Heskey. Shearer! Oh, he stumbled.
It's got to be a penalty, surely.
He claims that he was pushed to the ground or tripped to the ground, and Marcus Merck sees it as a consequence of Shearer's own momentum. Let's have another look.
What great play again from Heskey. Puts it through the legs of Sensini. Plays a great ball down that corridor. In between the defender and the goalkeeper. Let's look closer. Is it a foul? Well, I think his back leg was definitely tripped by the Argentinian defender. For me, that was a penalty.
Here's González. And Seaman has to parry that up in the air and claim it. González with plenty of velocity in the shot here.
He certainly strikes it well. The power of the shot is too much for David Seaman to hold, but he gets it in the second attempt.
Well, it was a matter of whether the referee saw the touch as intentional or not. There's no way Shearer would have gone down willingly in those circumstances. There was a tap in there against Argentina at Wembley for the England skipper. And he still tried to put it in with, I think it was his knee as he hit the deck.
I'll tell you what, Martin, when you look at Argentinian defenders, the boys in the studio spoke about it before, what he's done there is he's clever. He's realised that Shearer's got the better of him, he's got go side, he was absolutely helpless, so I think he's just stuck his foot out, hoping that he'll get away with it, and he's certainly succeeded.
See where the referee was positioned on the far side, or the further side. Not seeing it the way that we would have seen it from this side of the ground, and all you would have seen it at home. Link up between Heskey and Shearer and Beckham. And certainly England attacking with a sharp edge here. And another opportunity to put the ball in from a corner towards players who look superior in the air.
Excellent forward play again from the two strikers, Heskey and Shearer, but great support play from David Beckham. It's the first time he's ventured forward. Unfortunately, his first touch just didn't quite set him up for a goal-scoring opportunity.
Out by Sensini. The sort of ball that Jason Wilcox really wanted in those circumstances, but he's been strong. And Beckham beautifully through to Dyer. Now Scholes. Stopped by Chamot. Campbell saw that there was an avenue on the England right to maybe open up Argentina through. Heskey. Halfway through the first half, and England by and large calling the tune.
Yeah, good ball in from Dennis Wise. Heskey using his huge frame again, just gets in front of Sensini. But Sensini, I think, just did enough once again to put him off balance. He couldn't quite get his header on target.
Beckham. Well, he's been flattened by Arruabarrena. England might have liked the play to go on before the booking. Dyer had the ball, but the referee seen that the challenge was sinister enough to stop the play.
Well, there's absolutely no doubts about that as a yellow card. No attempt to play the ball. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name.
The booking for Arruabarrena. We've seen enough of Beckham to maybe read his mind at free kicks. Got across there. Incidentally, this referee, England fans might remember him as the fourth official that fateful night in Holland when Graham Taylor was mic'd up for a television documentary. And he got the full blast from the then England manager. Wise. Heskey again threatening Argentina. Cavallero has to come out of the area. He couldn't trust that the ball would run in to his penalty box before Heskey would get there. No chance of Batistuta reaching that one.
That's the area that Heskey's going to play, Martin, down that right-hand side, Argentina's right-hand side. If he can just isolate himself with Sensini, I'm sure he'll get a lot of success.
Well, cynical is a word that often comes to mind when you talk about Argentine defending. Shearer caught in the face. David Beckham has only scored one England goal. That was against South American opponents. Colombia.
Well, that's quite surprising, isn't it, for a player of his ability? 27 starts, is it, or 27 appearances, one goal?
It was from a free kick in this sort of position. In the end, Cavallero, who darted across his line anxiously, realised it was veering outside his right-hand post.
Well, judging by the reaction of David Beckham, this is close. You can see there just how close it was. Foot away, keeper gets across. Probably had it covered. Not a bad free kick.
Southgate bounces beyond Beckham. Scholes' problem there was not an opponent, it was the referee who rather balked him. A risky header from Sensini. Ortega. Good play by Southgate. Again, England getting the ball and the decision. Wilcox. Heskey dragging Sensini with him once more. Wilcox with a cross, and missed kick by Simeone. He's got time to take a more assured touch. Gets it back for ricochet from Wilcox. the only player who took part for Argentina when they were last here in 1991. A 2-2 draw, they were 2-0 down. And then surprisingly, against England, scored twice from corners. Corners that were put in by Argentine players that day. Batistuta. Campbell trying to indicate that he got the ball, but it's a free kick for Gabriel, Batistuta and company. Verón. Off the head of Campbell. David Seaman can't prevent the corner. The reason Campbell had a problem then, because Javier Zanetti, who's a wonderfully athletic player, he made a run down the right-hand side.
Yeah, it was an excellent run. Vacated his right-hand position on the touchline, came across the front of Wilcox into a more central area, and it forced Campbell to give away the corner. It was an important header, so I think the ball would probably have reached Zanetti.
Dyer got Wise with it. Check back into Zanetti. Heskey again eating up the ground to make it less than comfortable for Roberto Sensini.
Well, the ground he makes up here is unbelievable. Sensini thinks he's comfortable, he's going to turn on the ball, and all of a sudden Heskey comes over like a train.
Ortega getting the free kick out of Wise with a little bit of professionalism that I think Wise, even being on the wrong end of it, probably deep down appreciated. Chamot, who's recently moved from Atletico Madrid to AC Milan. Boys a little too eager to get the game going. We had two balls in play for a moment. Ortega. Verón. Ortega. González. And that was the pass that tried to get in behind England. Arruabarrena given offside.
It's good hold up by this. Simeone used his body well. Just plays it in behind Kieran Dyer, but they hold the line well. Catch Arruabarrena, is it Martin? Offside.
You're getting closer, Trevor.
I wish he'd been sent off. Can pronounce the other 10 names.
Here is Arruabarrena. Very, very nervy kick from Cavallero.
Once again, a free kick given against David Beckham on Simeone. What Simeone does so well is he uses his body, just encourages the player to come close. As soon as he feels contact, over he goes and wins his team a free kick.
He's not the only one out there in blue and white stripes good at doing that. Here's Verón.
It's something you often see in Spain and Italy, but we don't see so often here. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it, Martin. It's not falling over without any contact. I'm talking about, you know, just shielding the ball, protecting the ball, waiting for contact, and winning your team a free kick. Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
González. Ortega. Zanetti had one or two options then and picked the wrong one. And here is Wilcox. Already in the middle. Wise get involved in the approach play, linking up with Heskey from close to the edge of the area that time. Scholes.
Clever little ball out from Dennis Wise into the front man, Heskey, and it was Dennis who started the move. A lovely ball into the path of Jason Wilcox. He's having a big effect on the centre of midfield, Dennis Wise. I think him and Beckham are getting plenty of possession, plenty of the ball. They're certainly passing it well.
player cam for Sky Digital viewers, has now switched to Emil Heskey. Heskey's first start after 4 substitute appearances in senior internationals. And he's looked like a young man very much on a mission here. Verón. Beckham. Scholes and Wise acting as a trio in there. Glenn Hoddle, a great believer. You need 3 central midfield players in international football. Had a throw again by the energy of Heskey. And as he does so often in the Premiership, he gets free kicks for the teams that he plays for.
But I think on this occasion, quite clearly, it was a push in the back. Sensini pushing Heskey. A dangerous position because it's a perfect position for Beckham to deliver a good ball into the Argentinian penalty box.
33 minutes gone at Wembley. Beckham doesn't put it into the heart of the matter as far as England are concerned.
Well, that's criminal, that hit the first man. He's hit Verón. Need to get more height on it.
Wise drifting left and waving frantically to Keown to play that sort of pass. Arsenal man obliged. And there might be a break for Argentina here. Verón and Ortega. Zanetti. Simeone. Just when England were probably thinking their shape was okay, and in the end it was okay because they dealt with the pass from Ortega, but it was subtlety South American teams so often have on the edge of the opponent's penalty area. It almost shone through. It was a pretty forceful clash between 2 players who had been booked. Free kick went England's way. Dyer get through. Simeone. Scholes. Wilcox got on the left again. Jason Wilcox on his international return has got a high-quality opponent in Zanetti. But Argentina trying to make a change, and it's Pochettino for Sensini, who passes the captain's armband to Ayala.
Martin, I'm sure that's tactical, you know. You would think after 34, 35 minutes, Sensini's probably got an injury. They may say he's got an injury, but my reading of that is that he's been given a real hard time by Heskey and Shearer, in particular Heskey. And I think that they're trying to strengthen the back 3 by taking him off and bringing on a substitute.
Well, what they've done is put Chamot, who's physically the biggest of defenders, into Heskey's territory, certainly at the moment. And Pochettino has come across, here he is, to play more on the left of the defence. His first contribution is a weak one. And Beckham saw Cavallero off his line. He had the imagination and the inspiration. We've seen him do it before. Of course, from further back than that in the Premiership at Selhurst Park.
This doesn't trouble the keeper, but plenty of invention shown from Beckham. Unfortunately, no accuracy.
England dominating as far as those statistics are concerned. Shots yet on target. He's done so much of the approach work. The chances have fallen to Shearer. Beckham is down again. Shearer. Ortega helping Zanetti. They doubled up on Wilcox. Batistuta they played under pressure and then they gave it away to Wise. Beckham. Ortega. Two free kicks in quick succession against England. Not taken as quickly as the first. Allowed Kevin Keegan's men to regroup. Pochettino. Well, we should get Trevor Francis to tell us about Sunday at 11 o'clock. Birmingham against Ipswich, Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra. Followed by the Worthington Cup final from here at Wembley. Leicester City against Tranmere Rovers, also Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra. Scottish football to round it all off on Sky Sports 1. Dundee against Rangers. Verón. González. Ortega. Kevin Keegan has really appreciated what Martin Keown has done for England while he's been the head coach. And just allowing Ortega space there that might have been costly.
Yes, loose marking on the throw-in. Ortega quickly gets possession, looks up, sees the goal, tries an early shot, but once again doesn't trouble Seaman. In fact, we've been playing, what, 39 minutes now, and it's been a rather comfortable first 39 minutes for David Seaman. Just a one shot from González, which is saved at the second attempt. I think it's been a good first half for England. They've been the dominant force. A couple of chances, both to Alan Shearer, and a penalty that we felt should have been given. Certainly England have done very, very well in this opening period.
Mistake there by Dyer. Verón. Ortega, Batistuta going to the near post, then checking back. Ortega going his own way.
That should be a yellow card against Ortega.
It is, for diving. Ortega, the player who was red carded in the World Cup quarter-final against Holland.
Well, there's absolutely no doubt in the referee's mind, because that is a very, very poor example of trying to get a penalty. No contact. I think the two English defenders were a good 2 yards away from him.
Beckham. David Beckham glad to be out on the pitch again after his inactive weekend. Against Shearer, yes, he had the header that went just wide. Prior to that, the long-range shot when Heskey did well to close down the goalkeeper. Then there was the penalty incident.
Well, the shot from 25 yards, which was a mistake from the keeper, Cavallero, was a good chance. I think when he looks back on it, he probably realises now that he could have had another touch. He intended to strike it first time, which is always difficult, of course. But I think if we were to see it again, could have had another touch, steadied himself, looked up, just chipped the ball into an empty net.
Two of the three incidents involving Shearer close to Argentina's goal, very much involving Emil Heskey. Pressure by Argentina then. I was beginning to wonder about the foul knockout, but there's been nothing malicious in that respect. Heskett, he's got Chamot to try and deal with, and he's brushed him aside. Emil Heskett, brilliant play from the Leicester man, not for the first time this evening.
I just wondered, you know, having got into the penalty box, whether he could actually hit that with his left foot. But I'll tell you what, they can't handle him. He's too strong, he's too powerful, the pace is frightening. Goes away from the defender here. Can he hit this with his left foot?
Simeone. Wise, moves it away from Batistuta. And the foul on Heskett. England haven't beaten South American opposition here at Wembley for 10 years, and the winning goal then was scored by a lad from Leicester, certainly Gary Lineker. And Heskett, of course, went to the same school. I probably remember that particular evening. I certainly remember this one.
And I'm just thinking back to some of the faux debuts of players. This is his faux debut, yeah?
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Can't have been many better than this, from an attacker anyway. He's done excellent.
Scholes, who's played for the team, trying to do his work in that trio in the centre of midfield. A little bit of contact there by Southgate on Batistuta, enough for Marcus Merck, the referee, to give the free kick to Argentina. And England have got to be careful here. A couple of minutes to go to half-time. Shades of St Etienne, where they lost a late first-half goal to a brilliantly worked Argentina free kick. Then Zanetti scored it. Just from a wider position, of course. Taken by Verón and solidly defended by Shearer.
Yes, and I think there's been a big debate if that had resulted in a goal, because I couldn't see any contact from Gareth Southgate on Batistuta.
You've just been telling us all, Trevor, how good it is to lure in a challenge and go to ground when you've got the ball at your feet.
When there's contact. There was no contact there.
2 minutes to go to half-time after 30 seconds of the 45 minutes.
If you want to accuse me of being biased, Martin, I don't mind that.
I wouldn't dream of accusing you of that. I think Keegan had a good record against Argentina as a player, undefeated in 3 internationals. Scored in 2 of those games. Keown. By Beckham, Simeone stepping in. González. That's beautifully worked by Argentina. Arruabarrena. But the cross not deep enough for Batistuta, who turned away in disappointment. But that was the case.
That was a poor throw at that from David Seaman. Gave Jason Wilcox far too much to do. Put his team unnecessarily under pressure. They've got themselves a corner right on half-time. Really, David there, with all his experience, should have held the ball. Gave his team the chance to get out. And if he had to take half-time, so be it.
Shearer again, guarding that near post, as he does so well in club football. It's quite a good job for a forward, that, because you only have to deal with the ball usually, not the movement of an opponent, which is really defenders' business. So on from Pochettino, and offside as well. It's a rare surge forward from Simeone. Chamot. Well, it's level here at half-time, as it was in Saint-Etienne, but without the goals. Alan Shearer certainly had the chances, and Argentina really led a merry dance by Emil Heskey. Had to substitute Sensini, but we reached the break at Wembley with the scoreline England 0, Argentina 0.
You can tell by the reception that Argentina are on the way out. We're at Wembley Stadium. It's England against Argentina. No goals up to half-time. Incidentally, the first player cam subject at the start of the second half. If you're a Sky digital viewer, you've got channel 404, which is Sky Sports Extra. We'll be following Jason Wilcox Interactive. And news of a substitution on Rio Ferdinand, Martin Keown off, match commentators Trevor Francis and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. Rio Ferdinand of West Ham, of course. Martin Keown has missed a bit of training recently with his club Arsenal. And maybe that's behind the change at the start of the second half in England's back line. It looks as though, at least at the outset, Ferdinand is going to go in with Keown. And Keown's position now is moving across beyond Southgate, maybe to play in the middle of the back three. That's the way, Trevor.
Yes. Not a problem for the, certainly for Ferdinand, nor for Gareth Southgate. In fact, all three of them are right-footers. We don't have a left-footer in the side apart from Jason Wilcox.
Argentina get the second half underway. Here's Verón. He gets in the fray again. And Beckham. There's been one noticeable factor tonight. Tremendous support for England. The fans, putting aside the disappointment of the defeat here by Scotland, in vast numbers. Wise gets away another free kick. Let's hear about that England substitution from our touchline man George Gavin. Incidentally, Wise gets a yellow card. George.
Martin Keown has an ankle injury, but it's not too serious. It's more of a precaution. He's come off and Rio Ferdinand has come on. And by the way, Sensini was taken off in the first half for tactical reasons, and Alan Shearer had a quick word with him coming out. There's no doubt in his mind he was tripped, and he says he should have had a penalty.
Chamot. So the two players who've dominated the headlines really this week as far as England are concerned before the game, Beckham and Wise, both get yellow cards tonight. Southgate. This is a case of persistent infringements. Heskey. Ayala at his back this time. Wise. Played for much of the first half at a good tempo, and they want to recapture it as quickly as possible in the second period.
Yes, you just think there's a little bit more to come from Argentina, don't you? In the first half, I wouldn't say they were disappointing. I think that it would be unfair on England, who were very good. But I think that there's certainly a lot more to come in the second half from Argentina, with the calibre of players they've got on the field at this moment.
To Cavallero by Ayala. Verón. Zanetti. Verón again. Simeone. Be quite happy with this, but they mustn't be lulled into a false sense of security. With Batistuta about, but he needs better service than that. Shearer gets a touch. Heskey. Shearer again. And Simeone with a sorting out to do once more, capably and calmly. Simeone's been an international for 12 years now for Argentina. You have to be pretty good out of this country for that amount of time. This is his 88th cap.
He's also a regular goal scorer too, Martin, for Argentina. I think he's in double figures now, and I would imagine that quite a few of those have come from set pieces. Very, very good in the air.
His interception has triggered an Argentina attack that has Batistuta crossing and Ortega close to converting. Haven't pushed too many players forward, but at times you feel they might not need too many, such as the quality and their potential.
See the ball played into the box there from Batistuta, and just his striking partner Ortega was the only player who could get up to support him. You're right in what you're saying, they haven't really pushed too many players forward. You feel that they're looking to come away from Wembley with at least a draw.
Verón. Wise and Beckham. Good pressure on them by Argentina and Simeone in particular, and another free kick conceded by Wise. Simeone got the wrong side of him from England's point of view. Ayala. Verón able to turn. Ortega instantly making himself available. Batistuta came a bit quickly at the number 9 though. Wise waiting for the run of Wilcox. Nicely played by the Chelsea captain. Certainly a feature of the first half. England's work down the left-hand side. Quite been so penetrating down the right. Simeone. More players forward for Argentina here. Just outside the penalty area, and Batistuta just shrugging his shoulders at his teammates that time.
I think the reason for that, Martin, is that all the three central midfield players are all right-footers, and you've got nobody with a left foot in the centre of the midfield who can actually change the play. So therefore, very few balls go from left out to the right-hand side of Kieran Dyer.
There's another one to the left from the right-footed Beckham, just to emphasise Trevor's point. Scholes. Now Wilcox. Now Beckham. Plays it to the right. Dyer. Looking to angle the header into Heskey. Ortega. Verón. Quickly for Batistuta. Unfortunately, the radar wasn't quite working to Verón's usual passing standards then, otherwise England might have had a problem. Heskey trying to get away. He knows he's got the beating of Argentina's back line with the strength of his running. Heskey, his attempted low cross deflecting away to Zanetti.
He was unfortunate there, wasn't he? But I just looked at Ayala as Heskey turned and picked the ball up. The first thing he did, Ayala, was he turned to have a look behind to see if he had any support, any cover. He didn't have any cover. Heskey quickly went one-on-one against him. It's unfortunate that his cross got a block on it.
By Verón again. Sure, almost seizing it back for England. Shearer. He's got to hold the ball. Batistuta was clearly offside if he'd knocked it forward. Argentina working it through midfield. Verón. happy to go back to Pochettino. Ortega. There's no one wide on the right, but he's crafted a little chip towards Batistuta. Ferdinand claiming that the great man was pulling his England shirt.
There's a lot to admire there in the run of Batistuta. Well picked out from Ortega. The foot is high, but quite clearly there you see a shirt pulling from Batistuta on Ferdinand. I can't believe the linesman 20 yards away didn't spot that.
Simeone shot then, deflecting off Ferdinand, comfortable for Seaman. Zanetti. Ortega with the long hair, of course, that was not allowed by the previous coach, Passarella. Chamot, given this specific job with the tactical change in the first half to try and curb Heskey. Not an enviable task for José Chamot. This is Crespo, who's been scoring plenty of goals in recent seasons in Italy. Came on as a substitute against England in St Etienne and got away with a penalty failure in the shootout. Ortega. Verón. Not to shoot, but he might have thought about it. González. That's good handling by Seaman because Arruabarrena was inside the goal area, had it rolled loose.
Yeah, as you think that Kieran Dyer might have been a little bit more resilient here at right back. It allows him to just come and go past him. No real contact at all. He's got to do slightly better there defensively. A bit more resistance.
Heskey won it back for England in Argentine territory. Beckham. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Heskey letting it run quite deliberately, hoping it would go to Scholes, and it came back to him. He picks out Wilcox, and no infringement in the centre. And now handball by González. There's going to be a substitution. Crespo is going to come on. It is Gabriel Batistuta who goes off. Not any great love loss between the two that exchange slight pleasantries there. Maybe a bit of professional jealousy. Crespo, a genuine rival to Batistuta's place in the team. That tells you a lot about how good he is.
His first touch of the ball is a good one because at the near post it was a great defensive header from Crespo.
Heskey, Campbell rather, with the flick. And Sol Campbell able to get back before Cavallero decides to kick. Philip Neville also about to be introduced for England. Scholes, voted by the England members, the official supporters club, incidentally, as their player of 1999. There he is, succeeding Michael Owen, taking that trophy. Argentina, I'm sure pleased that Owen is not here to run them all over the place tonight. Ferdinand. Southgate. Up to Wilcox again. To Heskey's feet again. And that's going to be a booking for Chamot. I'm not sure how much contact there was, but it's the challenge from behind that the referees are trying to stamp out. Did you touch him at all, Trevor?
You can see there, Martin.
He didn't touch him.
He was about a yard away from it.
For poor attempt, maybe, more than anything else. Chamot gets a card. Kieran Dyer goes off. Trevor, you pointed out that rather lax piece of defending a few minutes ago by Kieran Dyer, whether that's involved Kevin Keegan in making the change on the England right. That's where Philip Neville has come on to play.
Well, I think it's an extremely brave team that he's picked, going in with two wing-backs who are predominantly attacking wide players.
Here's one of them, Wilcox. It's a terrific cross. The corner. Heskey up at the near post, but it was a defensive header.
Well, that's the best cross of the game. Great play this. Wilcox all the way to the byline, pose it back. Heskey, well, he gets the header in, it's deflected. If it not have been deflected, that would have been a goal.
Cavallero knocks it away, the corner. Juan is in a hurry to get the game restarted, and then leaving it to Philip Neville. It brings that long throw with his arrival as a substitute. Scholes. Well, as the ball was played, first of all the flag went up for offside, but Scholes was taken out.
Yes, but I think offside's already been given. Quite clearly that was a bad challenge on Scholes, but just going back to that throw-in from Neville, I don't know if you noticed, Martin, that he actually asked the ball boy for a dry ball to take the throw-in. He exchanged it for the wet ball, but it obviously got a lot of dampness on it, because he can get further length with a drier ball.
That's a tip for Dave Challoner for Sunday, then.
He doesn't need any tips.
Of course, he's been denied the towel. The Tranmere towels will not be on view at Wembley. Southgate. Heskey. The player cam now has moved for Sky Digital viewers to concentrate on Diego Simeone. Inside the last half an hour at Wembley. They haven't quite recaptured the zest of their first half performance, which deserved a goal. It didn't produce one. Wise. Wilcox. First objective for Kevin Keegan to get a player to fill that slot on the left-hand side. He's to Jason Wilcox. He's not looking for real heroics with him on the ball to try and.
No, he had a problem there, though, Martin. You know, he was being closed down by two players, and he needed Sol Campbell to adjust his position. Sol Campbell was almost square of him. He needed to give him a little bit of depth so he could just roll the ball back to him. He stayed square of him and made it virtually impossible for Jason Wilcox to do anything with it. Felt the force of González. Free kick to England.
Heskey. Southgate making an extra player on the right-hand side. He's attempting cross block by González. Verón. Wise. Pressure on Dennis Wise by Juan Verón. Wise didn't panic. It's really risky some back passes. Simeone.
I just feel at the front two at this moment, Heskey and Shearer need Paul Scholes to just get a little bit closer, start making one or two little runs off them. He's been quite quiet, actually, Paul Scholes.
He has.
You know, he's been, as you mentioned this now, England Supporters Player of the Year. He's had a great year for club and country, but he's been rather quiet tonight. We just need him to start pushing on now the last, what is it, half an hour, trying to get into more forward areas.
Keegan's with the shape of the team. Changes in personnel. González getting in behind Philip Neville. Ortega. Such quick feet, but England able to adjust down. Heskey again. I'd love to know how many fouls have been committed on him. That was won by Pochettino. There was a time in the Premiership, I'm not sure if it's still the case, when he was, statistics showed the most fouled player.
Great run that by Alan Shearer. Made the pass for was it Southgate or Neville by making the run into the right channel.
Beckham comes out here for Wilcox. Towards Heskey.
Well, it was a good precision pass this, or possibly a cross if you want to say, by Wilcox. Looks up, picks out Heskey, absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, the header doesn't quite match the cross. Gets up above the two Argentinian defenders, gets in between them, but can't quite direct his header towards goal. There you see 3 attempts by Heskey, but unfortunately not one yet on target.
The one in the first half where he spurned from a tight angle on the left-hand side, admittedly, but without support, he spurned a shooting chance to cut the ball back.
Yeah, I think if it had been on his right-hand side, he would probably have let fire. Just hit it with as much power as you can get, try and blast it through the keeper. But because it was on his left, he elected just to play a ball into the box. I would say that if he had spotted somebody with a red shirt, fair enough. But I think on that occasion, the better option would have been for him to try and hit it as hard as he possibly could with his left foot.
Arruabarrena needing attention. Chance to remind you again that Trevor Francis's Birmingham City play Ipswich on Sunday. You can see it live on Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra. We start at 11, followed by the Worthington Cup final, the League Cup final, Leicester City against Tranmere Rovers, again Sky Sports 2 and Sky Sports Extra at 2, and Dundee against Rangers, Sky Sports 1 at 5:30. Face to English viewers, particularly Arsenal fans. Nelson Vivas. Arsene Wenger is here assessing the match. He's allowed Vivas to go recently on loan to Spain. He's now with Celta in the Primera Liga. He knows a thing or two about Wembley, of course, which is Arsenal's home ground, or has been Arsenal's home ground in the Champions League. Beckham. Verón looking for Crespo, out comes Seaman, and always looks slight favourite to get there, and get there he did.
Yes, but still he showed good alertness there, hasn't been caught on much tonight. That's when it's difficult for a keeper.
This is difficult for Chamot because he's been booked, and he needed all his considerable experience to stop Heskey getting round him without giving away a free kick in a situation where he might have got another yellow card. Ortega. Quarters of the way through the match. Ortega. Some confusion there between Neville and Seaman. Beckham. It's Simeone there again. There'll be a few pictures in the papers tomorrow, I'm sure, of Simeone and Beckham in this conflict on a football field. For the first time. That's the options for Kevin Keegan still. Andy Cole and Kevin Phillips. Both in fine fettle with their clubs. Vivas. Ortega. González with the cross. And Cox rather misjudged that. Vivas coming in behind him.
So that's when you have the problem, I think, of playing with a attack-minded wing-back in Wilcox and not a defensive full-back. Found wanted near at the back post, and I'm not so sure that Wilcox was aware of Vivas coming in behind him.
Heskey. Verón. González getting the better of Beckham, and Simeone benefiting from that. Ortega. Certainly promised in this part of the pitch, Argentina. They found wanting in the attacking third. Deep ball from Vivas.
Quite surprised that Vivas has actually gone onto the right-hand side here. Zanetti was played there for most of the game, and he's now switched to the left-hand side.
Ortega. Well, the packed Wembley, one of the reasons for it is it's half-term, certainly in this part of the country. A lot of school children with a real thrill, a chance to have a night out and watch the national team, and not only that, see them play such a famous footballing country as Argentina. They'd love to have a goal to treasure as a memory, particularly if it comes from the team in the red shirts.
Just noticed that David Beckham just looking down his foot there. He involved in an exchange in the centre of the park. Quite a robust challenge, and just slightly limping.
Scholes. Manchester United triangle not completed then. Beckham has the ball back. Wise. Heskey. Heskey. And see what he was trying to do to give Paul Scholes the sort of chance that he's been starved of so far tonight.
Absolutely nothing wrong with the run of Paul Scholes. Unfortunately, Emil Heskey couldn't quite provide the pass. Knew what he wanted to do, but couldn't execute it. There you see Heskey in possession. Scholes makes the run in behind Ayala. And overplays it. There's too much weight on it.
Wise. Wilcox. He's taken out by Vivas. Heskey for Philip Neville. Now can England get players into the centre? Neville's cross towards Shearer. With him was Ayala, who did enough. Point out that Argentina's last match was away to Spain, and by all accounts they played Spain off the pitch in Seville. Won 2-0, could have been more. So in that context, this has been encouraging for England. And it's David Beckham going off again prematurely against Argentina, but this time it's a straightforward substitution. I think he'd like to have stayed on, judging by the look that he gave, but he's been replaced by Arsenal's Ray Parlour. Heskey has dropped down again, and Ayala maybe caught him in the eye with a hand. Maybe just a clash of heads.
Well, he certainly caught him, but certainly accidental.
Ayala took the last Argentina penalty before poor David Batty stepped up in St Etienne to end proceedings. there's a man of the match vote tonight. 09 009 11 22 33, the usual number for you. And Emil Heskey's performance will certainly be him up as a contender for that award. Certainly shaken up by the contact from Ayala. And what's Kevin Keegan going to do here? Is he going to take the opportunity to use a replacement striker? Does he want to see more of Heskey? Coming towards the final 15 minutes at Wembley. Back on. Argentina taking their time over the throw. In fact, I think they were trying to take it from the wrong place. Vivas. Ortega. Verón. For Vivas, looking early for Crespo. It was behind him. They had an extra player on the left-hand side, Zanetti. And it's a Chamot on Shearer, and a free kick to England. And for Sky Digital viewers watching on Sky Sports Extra, our player cam now switches to Alan Shearer. Doesn't often get taken off, so I think you get the full 15 minutes with the skipper. Southgate. The call has possibly gone out for Kevin Phillips. Heskey. Never. Ayala. Argentina getting ready for World Cup qualifiers that are a real marathon in South America. The countries play each other home and away. Yes, they're competitive fixtures, they are too. Here's González. A bit more thrust from the South Americans there.
Well, that's the nearest they've come to scoring tonight. Well-worked move, Ortega instrumental. Good ball from Simeone, quickly into the path of González. Looks up, hits it with his left foot. Sends Seaman sprawling across the goal. That was close.
Well, I spoke too soon about the England captain, because Alan Shearer is being replaced by Sunderland's Kevin Phillips. The armband goes to Sol Campbell, who has led his country before. Has been switched to and who's substituted for Shearer, Kevin Phillips, for Sky Digital viewers on Sky Sports Extra. Heskey, and he leaves it to Wise. Let's keep pressure by Dennis Wise. Wilcox quickly on the scene as well, trying to squeeze Argentina into that corner.
Yeah, he should have just backed the play up a little bit more there, Jason Wilcox, because Dennis Wise did well, forced Vivas into the corner, and then Jason Wilcox should have been a couple of yards closer as the ball came back.
Well, a tremendous reception for Emil Heskey, who's done his international cause no harm at all tonight. A lively display from the Leicester City forward. He'll be hoping to do similar things here for his club on Sunday. And he's given way to Andy Cole. Fresh legs for England up front. Scholes, and in midfield with Pablo for Cole. Straight away, a shot on target that Cavallero allowed to bounce off him, not very convincingly. It's the most incisive piece of play from England for some time. Pablo. Neville.
What an introduction that could have been, Martin. Great piece of play from Pablo, who picked out Cole with a good run. And it was a good shot from Andy Cole. Forced the keeper into a save. Couldn't handle it. Actually dropped it, but nobody to put the rebound in.
Wise. Crespo, rather isolated in there and trying to hold it up. Maybe get a foul. Got some support in the end from Verón. González. New arrivals trying to give England some real impetus and a winning goal in the last 10 minutes. This February fixture's not been kind to the home nation in recent seasons. England beaten here by France a year ago, by Chile 2 years ago, and by Italy 3 years ago. In the month of February, and here's Ortega. And Vivas and Crespo losing his footing as the ball ran across.
Well, that could be a sending off. That's a clear handball.
A lenient view taken by the German referee.
Well, if it wasn't,
relief of Chamot.
Well, if it wasn't a friendly, I think we'd had to have gone off, Martin. But at the other end, you know, good move by Argentina. Ortega involved again, put it to the back post. Vivas got the better of Jason Wilcox.
Verón. Offside against Ortega, but after a rather fallow period of play, chances at both ends.
Yeah, this is where Ortega goes in the box, looking for a penalty, but decides to stay on his feet. Clips a great ball to the back post. Vivas into the path of Crespo. And how many times have you seen him score from that position when he's been playing for Parma? This is the shot from Andy Cole. Too hard for the keeper to hold. Fortunately for him, it goes straight to one of his colleagues, and he managed to get it clear.
Pablo. Wilcox. Needs help from behind again, and once more it wasn't quite where he would have liked it, but Rio Ferdinand made himself available. Jason Wilcox is not a man to panic. Strong work from Southgate. Campbell. Certainly the England supporters calling for a real finale here. Phillips played here before in a playoff with Sunderland and scored. Kevin Keegan stressing he wants England to warm up for Euro 2000 against high-quality opposition. Brazil to come, but that's not till the end of May. Ukraine also to play here, and a couple of hours after that, Kevin has to commit himself to the 22 who will represent England in the Euro 2000 finals.
It's certainly the two substitutions, Martin, of Phillips and Cole. He's given fresh impetus to England.
And Pablo, I feel, as well, and somehow that seems to have got some energy, extra energy into Paul Scholes in these closing minutes.
Yeah, you just felt that Argentina were quite content just to play out time, just keep possession, but you can hear the crowd now. They're helping England because they want a goal. They want us to win it, and rightly so.
Crespo. The extra urgency in the game will produce a challenge that Argentina can rise to. Ortega. And the South American nation have a corner. Remember, they haven't won at Wembley. Minutes to go. The ball's actually bent out and bent back in again, which is a waste for Argentina. Verón was the culprit.
So you see the gesture he made to the linesman, as if to say, well, you need glasses. Somebody recently did that, didn't they? Got booked in English football. I'm trying to think who it was.
Well, Roy Keane at Newcastle was one, and Titi Camara for Liverpool at Arsenal copied it. Ooh. Phillips thought he was legally away then.
Once over in Italy, Van Basten actually applauded the referee's decision sarcastically, got sent off.
Chamot. Back to Cavallero. He'll be delighted to shut England out tonight if that is going to be the case. Still 5 minutes or so away from that. González. To be careful there, because that was the non-stop Javier Zanetti. But England get a free kick. So they leave for David Seaman.
He's just looking for a target because, of course, with Heskey and Shearer off the field, we don't have quite the size now in forward areas with Phillips and Cole.
Phillips penalised again. Ortega. Ayala. Southgate just going to read the spin here and did that coolly enough. Ferdinand. Pablo. Scholes. Hoping to just tease that into a front man, but it's Vivas who brings it out for Argentina. Ortega. Good pressure around the ball from England's midfield. Pablo to the fore again. González. Verón. Zanetti's on the left. Simeone. Let's go through the centre, had to check, he would have been offside. That's not for the first time he's making a run. I'm going to find some room in which to manoeuvre here with Cole. Wilcox quickly again, Argentina.
Yeah, but once again, you know, Jason Wilcox, he just needs somebody just to give a little bit of depth so he can roll it back to him. So Campbell does have a tendency to stay in that central position and not come out to try and support Jason Wilcox.
He's saying he's happier in a back four than a back three, Trevor.
Well, possibly so.
Ferdinand, here is a strong man from Spurs.
Then again, you could say the same about one or two players. Martin Keown, when he's on the field, normally plays in the back four for Arsenal.
Here's Phillips, who has Argentina backpedaling momentarily. His intentions read by Ayala. Shows what a streetwise defender he is. First of all, in getting the ball, then getting the throw. Trevor, the pluses for England for you tonight?
Well, I think the plus, first and foremost, is the performance. Because I think we all came here tonight wondering what to expect after the shambles against Scotland, when we were very poor. That's as poor a performance I can remember for a long, long time. An England team at Wembley. And even before the game, a lot of criticism about the England lineup. It was too attacking. With the calibre of players on the Argentinian side, they were going to run all over us. It was going to be a resounding victory. But I think that England have acquitted themselves very well. Some of the players that I spoke about prior to the game that I felt weren't certainties for Euro 2000, the likes of Wilcox, Dennis Wise, and especially Emil Heskey, have all done well tonight.
This is Gustavo Lopez. And a yellow card for time wasting for Ayala.
Undoubtedly the biggest plus of all has to be Heskey, doesn't it, Martin? I think for 75 minutes he was outstanding. The first 45 minutes he was the best player on the field.
England haven't quite been able to recapture the dynamism of that first half performance in the second.
Now what they needed was a goal, obviously, to spur them on to greater things. The concern always is that the Argentinians are always dangerous on the counter-attack. They do get players forward very quickly, but I think we've been very concentrated defensively and done our job well.
Verón. Zanetti can't get that one, and in truth didn't look too interested in doing so. There's been a general feeling, really, through Argentina's performance that a draw would be a decent outcome for them. They're making a substitution in stoppage time almost to reinforce that point. Gustavo Lopez for Ariel Ortega.
I think what Kevin has to decide now, Martin, is does he continue with his shape? He's gone with three at the back. I hope I'm not tempting fate by saying, we've kept a clean sheet tonight and really looked like conceding. I think we've been very solid in defensive areas.
Ferdinand played his part in the second half. Wilcox. Ayala. González. Crespo able to take it and turn. Gustavo Lopez. González, back heel for Zanetti. Is there going to be late drama here in the England penalty area? Verón. Back with Simeone. Now Vivas. Can't get hold of the ball to mount a late attack here. More concerned about stopping Argentina. A real sharp edge to their forward momentum. Good block by Campbell.
Yes, it was a good block because Crespo was waiting in the box for the cross.
Pablo in powerfully. Phillips really got Cole to work with. Colleague Andy Cole from level outside him. initially thought he might have got that one, but Verón was there first. And it finishes all square between England and Argentina again. No need for penalties tonight. A meaningful workout for both countries. And still no Wembley win for Argentina. Alan Shearer thought he should have had a penalty in the first half. A chance provided for England by Emil Heskey, who really did himself justice coming up for his first full start. Dennis Wise played the full game in England's midfield. The back line, a back three for Kevin Keegan, did the necessary defensively. Cole sparkled when he first came on. The shame for England is that preparations for Euro 2000 now go on hold for 3 months. Brazil eagerly awaited opponents here, but it's a long wait until the end of May.